What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Cincinnati Reds franchise. And here we are for the Season 2 finale, and we're going to have to simulate a couple of games before we get there. And I also wanted to move Marco Bautista up to the AAA squad as they are about to close their season out. They have 3 games left, and I thought it'd be a pretty good time to get him some at-bats with the AA playoffs looming. And here he is, so his first at-bat at the AAA level, and he's going to bloop this one in the right field, and it's going to get down for a single, and Marco Bautista is going to have his first AAA RBI. His contact numbers are pretty good, and he is somebody that I think could potentially be making his way to the big league squad as early as next season. The only problem is the defense is kind of questionable for Bautista. I don't think that it's terrible, but it's not at a big league level yet. His hitting, I think, is right there, as this one is driven in the right field deep, and if it wasn't for the large right field wall, even then I think it would have come up short. But a very hard hit from Marco Bautista, as kind of has some power that he can put on display. I think that his stance is a really good one. Here's another line shot to right field. Very hard contact off the bat, so something that you need to look forward to. I don't think that Bautista is going to have the greatest power attributes, but I think he has the potential to show some power along the ways here, as that contact is already in a really good spot, as he's going to hit this one in the left center field. Diving left fielder can't make the play, so another base hit for Bautista. I think at the plate, we really don't have a problem with him. I think that at the plate, he could be a very good big league hitter. I think defensively is probably the biggest weakness for Bautista. I think his fielding is okay. I think his arm is just a little bit lacking. So here he is now, as he's going to line this one up the middle. Watch out, pitcher. You almost lost your head on that one. Another hard hit for Bautista, 87 miles per hour up the middle, and another base hit for him. So really good start here at the AAA level. Going to see if we can get a stolen base with him here, as he's going to slide into second. He's in there safely. The throw was not in time at all. So the first stolen base for Bautista at the AAA level. I think that he's going to have a bright future here at Cincinnati. As he's here in Louisville now, but he gets thrown out on that stolen base attempt. Here he is now in the left field, as there's a runner on third with nobody away. As this one's hit into left field, Bautista's going to have a chance to show off his arm here. Here's the throw. Good throw by Bautista, and it is in time. What a play by Marco Bautista. He's shutting up everybody who is questioning his defensive ability. Perfect throw. It was a one-hop to the plate, and I was really impressed with the 3 games that I got to play with him. His overall has already jumped all the way up to 66. He's still got the A potential. I think his clutch at 81 is really good. So when he gets guys, when runners are in scoring position, he's going to do a pretty good job at driving those guys in. His on-base percentage is going to be something that's really good. He's not going to strike out a whole lot. His bat is there. I think his bat is very close to being big, MLB ready. I think it's the defense you got to work on a little bit, but he kind of shut us up there, as unfortunately the bats have not made the playoffs at the AAA level, but the Chattanooga Lookouts have finished pretty well, and they're going to have a chance to play in the playoffs. We're not going to play those games. I just want to get to the rest of the season in this episode, so we're just going to go ahead and simulate until we get to the St. Louis Cardinals game. We have been eliminated at the AA level as well by the Trash Pandas, and we lose the series against Pittsburgh. Chance to win the series against the Cardinals as we close out this season. Jake Fraley and Jonathan India have been the 2 guys who have led this team, both 77 overall, but I think they have been our best players in this lineup. And then another guy who was really impressive was Jesse Winker. I think has potential to be next year's permanent DH. And then Ellie De La Cruz, which I mentioned in the last episode, we did edit his batting stance, so maybe that will help us a little bit as far as his hitting is able to go. And then looking at the bench, Nick Senzel, a guy who didn't play too bad. Spencer Steer improved his numbers. And then Joey Votto, who we called up in 10 at-bats, is hitting 400. And then looking at the pitching, Joey Lucchesi pitched pretty well this season at 3.9 ERA, 1.46 whip. He probably will be in the rotation going into the next season, but we will look to obviously replace him in the future. Graham Ashcraft, much worse year for him this year. Justin Dunn, he's getting up there, and he's had his opportunities, but I just don't think he is a big league caliber pitcher. And Nick Lodolo improved a little bit from last season, but we really need that ERA to go down. A 4.5 ERA is just not going to cut it. And then Hunter Green, unfortunately, wasn't healthy for a lot of the season, or he probably would have had over 200 strikeouts and could have had a chance to finish in the Cy Young race. Looking at our bullpen, I think our bullpen was really good. Alex Reyes, 3.2 ERA. Jonathan Hernandez, that ERA came down. Carl Edwards with a 2.09. Lucas Sims was probably our worst guy out of the bullpen. And then Alexis Diaz, who I talked about in the last video as well, at 3.26 ERA, which was down drastically from last year. Not as many saves, but only 4 blown saves compared to 9 last year. Looking at our team batting average, we finished 19th, which is not bad. And then in runs, we also finished 19th. So we're like middle of the pack as far as offense. So I don't think the offense is something that we really need to worry about too much. But here is something that we need to worry about. Runs allowed. We finished 28th in runs allowed. Our pitching was not good. Our ERA was also among some of the worst. And then looking at our 28th in ERA with a 4.46. So our pitching needs some help. And then looking at errors, we were the worst defensive team in baseball. I don't know how to fix that. I think we're going to have to make a conscious effort to go into free agency this year and try to get better defensively and get better pitching. I think our bullpen is fine. I think it's our starting pitching and I think it's our defense are the two places where we need to get better going into the next season, because having a poor defense really does hurt your chances of being a good team, and you allow more runs when you commit more errors. So Graham Ashcraft, we talked about just a second ago, struggling this season. He will be on the mound here for the 162nd game of the season as he walks the leadoff batter. Here's JD Martinez now in St. Louis. We got Senzel playing in right field, and he's there to make the play. Senzel is a guy who probably will at least get a contract offer from us. Probably not a big one, probably 1 or 2 year deal to be that utility guy for us, because he honestly, with a 250 average, I think he did enough to prove that he can be a utility guy for us next season. As here's Nolan Arenado now, grounds this one over to Urshela. He takes his time, sets his feet, throws on Novato, and that will end the top half of the first. And here's Dakota Hudson on the mound here for the St. Louis Cardinals, a 4.37 ERA, 1.46 whip, a 14-11 record this season for the Cardinals. And here's Jake Fraley leading off, 285 average, easily our best offensive player. And he crushes this one in the right field. It's the hanging slider, and Fraley takes advantage of it. This one is crushed. Another home run for Jake Fraley as he leads the team with that category. And I have been impressed with the way that Fraley has played this season. He hasn't had the most at-bats because he doesn't face left-handed pitching that much, but he has been easily our best player. And even then, his left-handed attributes should probably go up because he's not that terrible. As here is Jonathan India now batting .294 on the season, and he hits this one in the left center field. Could the Reds go back-to-back on home runs? Is it going to land at the warning track? It's a double for Jonathan India. Didn't have that warning track power, but fortunately nobody was able to get to it out in the gap. As here's Gio Urshela now, grounds this one over to second. It will advance India to third. So Reds in business here. Here's Stevenson batting .250. Kind of a lackluster year for him. He's going to hit this one up the middle, and India will walk in to score. 2-0 Cincinnati leads here. Stevenson started the season out very good. Kind of slowly fell off as the season went on, as here is Jesse Winker now batting fifth with that .270 average. He grounds this one to short, and Edman can't make the play. He's going to throw to first anyway, and he's going to overthrow a first baseman, and it's going to be a error by the shortstop. That is not Tommy Edman. That is my fault. I cannot remember who it is at this time. Ellie De La Cruz with a 2-2 count hits this one into shallow center. We're going to try and tag up here and score, and we will. Stevenson hustles into home for a 3-0 lead for the Reds at this point. Joey Votto now still bottom of the first, hits this one back up to Hudson. Hudson throws on to first, and finally he gets out of the inning, but the Reds offense assaulted Dakota Hudson early in this game. Here's Nolan Gorman, somebody that has really good power in this Cardinals lineup. I didn't realize his power is up in the 90s, especially against right-handed pitching. He's a dangerous guy, 106 off the bat, hits it back up the middle, and the St. Louis Cardinals have a leadoff runner here. Here's Wilson Contreras as he's going to hit a dribbler back to Ashcraft. Ashcraft showing his athleticism. He gets the out to Votto. So Graham Ashcraft throwing some athleticism out there. As here's Goldschmidt hits this one on a line to Fraley. Fraley does make the play and throws on to hold the runner at second. So here's Tyler O'Neill now, the big guy. Benches 225, 150 times, but he can't hit Graham Ashcraft's pitch as the Reds get out of the inning. And here is Stuart Fairchild batting .260, a guy who I think is probably going to remain in the starting lineup going into next season. If not, he will be our outfield utility guy because He does this all the time, 104 off the bat. I just hit very well with him, and he even sims pretty well. As here's Senzel, as he's going to hit a blooper back up to Hudson. He actually is not going to try and make a play. Fortunately, they still get Senzel at first, but it advances the runner. Here's Fraley now, 1-0 count. Hits this one to short, and it's going to be a second out on the inning for the Cardinals. As here's India. He's 1 for 1 on the day, our best offensive production player. And he hits this one to left field, and it's going to score. The runner, Stuart Fairchild, as the Cincinnati Reds will take a 4-0 lead here in the second inning. The offense is on fire, 105 off the bat for India. Here's Gio Urshela now. Hits this one to shallow center field. Center fielder is underneath of it, and that is out number 3. 4-0 through 2 innings, as here is Elly De La Cruz, who has struggled this season. New batting stance, and it pays off as this one is driven into right field on a line, and it's off the wall. Elly De La Cruz is going to hustle into second with a double. 103 miles per hour off the bat. We changed the batting stance, and he crushes one off the wall. If it was a little bit higher, it would have been gone. He's going to steal third, as that one is too easy. A stolen base for Elly De La Cruz, his 30th on the season. This right here is what we've been looking to receive out of him all season long. Votto's going to hit this one a second. De La Cruz will score, and they will still get Votto at first. So no run, as a matter of fact, for the Reds. As here is Nolan Arenado, as he's going to crush this one into center field. Fairchild can run back as much as he wants. He's not going to get there. It's off the batter's eye as the Cardinals are on the board now, 4-1. The 34th home run for Nolan Arenado on the season. He's a guy in real life that struggled to start the year, and he has been on a tear as of late. So the Cardinals get on the board here, and it's a 3-run game at this point. Reds would love to beat the Cardinals, because if they beat the Cardinals, then they would not clinch the NL Central. That is, unless the Brewers lost as well today. Tyler Wade is the shortstop for the Cardinals. I couldn't remember who it was at first, but here he is up to the plate, and he's going to hit this one in the air to India. Carl Edwards on the mound now for the Reds as he gets there to make the play, and it's 4-1 through 5.5 innings. Only 3 hits for the Cardinals on the day as Jonathan Hernandez will now come in from the bullpen, a guy who we traded for. It was C.J. Cron for Hernandez, and he comes in and gets the strikeout of Brendan Donovan, who I think has the best average in the MLB this season. Here's Nolan Gorman now, 3-2 count. Chopper to De La Cruz. He's going to stay with it. Throws on the first. What a play by De La Cruz as he turned his body as quick as possible and was able to make the play. And here he is at the plate now in the bottom half of the 6th. He's 1 for 1 on the day. Right-handed, and he's going to hit this one deep to left field. Another one on the line, and it is going to bounce off the wall. He's in there with another double. This one was also 104 miles per hour off the bat, this time from the right side of the plate. 2 doubles for De La Cruz, and he's going to try and steal third again as he slides in safely. 2 doubles and 2 stolen bases for Elly De La Cruz in the last game of the season. We have waited all year long for this. As Stuart Fairchild comes to the plate now, 2-2 count, and he's going to hit this one to right field. It's kind of shallow, but De La Cruz doesn't care. He's going to be safe at the plate as he scores and gives the Reds a 5-1 lead. Why did we have to wait to see this until the last game of the season? He has been dominant in this game. 2 doubles, 2 stolen bases, and he scored 1 run. And he's played terrific defense as well. As Alex Reyes comes in now to face the Cardinals lineup here in the top half of the 7th inning. Goldschmidt crushes this one to left field, and it's gone. Fraley can run back all he wants, but once again, it is crushed over the wall in left field. Paul Goldschmidt with his 26th home run of the season, and Alex Reyes, unfortunately, has been really good for us this season, but he's going to probably end this year off on a bad note as he allows the 2-run homer. You know, Goldschmidt and Arenado are 2 dudes that are very dangerous in this lineup. And Tyler O'Neill had a rough year this year, but he's also dangerous. And he hits this one down the left field line, and he's going to have himself a double with ease with that 97 speed. And look out, the Cardinals are kind of, trying to take advantage of the poor pitching by Alex Reyes. We'll bring on Austin Davis to face the lefty Lars Nootbaar. And this one is hitting the gap. And with 97 speed, I'm pretty sure Tyler O'Neill is going to be in there with ease. He is. Fraley just throws on to second. And we have a 1-run game. Tyler Wade to the plate now with nobody out. And Wade will hit this one behind third base. Urshela's there to make the play. So 1 away here as Nootbaar is going to remain at first. Here's J.D. Martinez. 3-1 count. Hits this one to De La Cruz on to India. Martinez is not fast at all, and we're able to turn 2 as Austin Davis comes in and gives us the double play that we much needed to keep this game at 5-4. Can we get any insurance? No, we were unable to. Here's Lucas Sims to face the Cardinals here in the 8th. A 3.9 ERA on the season for him. Runner on first for Nolan Gorman. He hits this one on a line. Senzel back to the wall, makes the play. That one right there, Nolan Gorman just didn't have the warning track power that we thought he had. As Contreras goes down swinging, Lucas Sims is pumped up. The Reds fans are pumped up as we are 3 outs away from winning the 162nd game on the season. And Alexis Diaz with 31 saves, 4 blown saves, is on to face the St. Louis Cardinals. Goldschmidt hits this one into shallow right. Senzel camps underneath of it for out number 1. 2 outs away are the Cincinnati Reds here. Alex Verdugo comes on to pinch hit, and he's going to pop this one up to Urshela. He makes the play 2 away. As Alexis Diaz is 1 out away, 1-2 count to Nootbaar. He hits this one into center field. Fairchild camps underneath of it, and the Cincinnati Reds have finished off the season with a victory. They're 69th on the season. We could have gotten one more and had 70 on the year, as this was a disappointing year. I got to be honest. We started the season out very good, and then right before the All-Star break, we just started to struggle. I think going into the All-Star break, we had been on like a 10-game losing streak, and then we won a couple, then lost a couple, then the All-Star break started. But that 10-game losing streak that we went on right before the All-Star break really hurt us, and we were never able to recover from it. And unfortunately, that kind of ruined our season, as Elly De La Cruz gets player of the game here. But yeah, that ruined our season, and I wish it hadn't, but it did, and that's just the reality of it. So unfortunately, we finished the season 69-93. We're going to be very aggressive in this offseason. You know, this video will be uploaded on a Friday. Sunday is going to be the offseason. It's going to be a live stream, and we are going to be extremely aggressive. I'm talking we are going to try and build a team that is not meant to win the division, but is meant to win a World Series. We're going to get better pitching. We're going to get better defensively, and we're going to try and bring a little bit more power to this lineup, because I think we are right there on the cusp of being a very good team. The pitching's got to improve, though, and the defense has got to improve. So we're going to do everything we can to make this team better going into year 3. And we're going to slow year 3 down as well, and not rush through it the way we rushed through year 2. At least I felt like we rushed through year 2. But there's a look at the playoff bracket. You can pause and look at it if you want, but we will go through the playoffs, free agency, Rule 5 draft, and all of that as we get ready to take on year 3. So look forward to that live stream on Sunday. I'm excited for it. We're going to be very aggressive, like I said. And that's going to do it for this episode. If you guys enjoyed this, I encourage you guys to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and comment down who you guys are excited for us to potentially get in the offseason, and we'll see if your guys' wish comes true. But that's it, everybody. Appreciate you guys stopping by. See ya.